My sister and I were reborn on the day our parents split up. In our previous lives, when our parents divorced, my sister immediately chose to go with our millionaire father, abandoning our stay-at-home mom. But life didn't turn out the way she imagined. Our wealthy father remarried, and her stepmother was cruel, her stepbrother violent. Instead of living the life of luxury she had envisioned, my sister was kicked out of the house, left to wander aimlessly. Meanwhile, mom unexpectedly bound herself to a beauty system after the divorce. Overnight, she became the entertainment industry's ageless goddess. Following her rise, I too became the center of attention, courted by a movie star, and thrived in fame and fortune. When I opened my eyes again, my sister had already grabbed onto mom's arm. "You've already had your turn at the good life," she said with a bright, calculated smile. "It's my turn now." But she didn't know. Beauty is a card that, when played alone, leads to a dead end. When I opened my eyes, my dad was screaming at my mom, his face red with rage. "Linda, you ungrateful woman. I work my ass off to provide for this family, and you dare to sneak around behind my back with someone else?" Shards of broken glass flew past me and shattered on the floor. Before I could react, someone else lunged forward ahead of me. "Dad, how dare you say that to mom? She spent years taking care of this family while you're too busy with work to even notice us. If anyone is to blame, it's you for neglecting her." My sister, Hazel, stood protectively in front of my mom, her usually delicate face flushed with righteous indignation. "Stop this nonsense." My dad froze for a moment, stunned. Then, as if snapping out of it, he reached down to grab Hazel and pull her away. But before he could, Hazel slapped his hand away dramatically. "Don't touch me. I don't want to leave mom. I want to stay with her," Hazel wailed, tears streaming down her face. My dad looked completely dumbfounded. He couldn't understand why his usually obedient and well-behaved younger daughter was suddenly spouting such absurd nonsense. Amidst the chaos, I was the only one who noticed the sly glint in Hazel's eyes. And with just that one look, I understood everything. Hazel and I had both been reborn. We'd returned to the day our parents split up. In our previous lives, the scene had played out exactly the same. My dad, a corporate VP earning millions a year, was rarely home. My mom, already a beautiful woman, had spent years alone, and somehow, she ended up entangled with my dad's assistant. They'd been meeting under the guise of work until one day, my dad came home unexpectedly to grab some documents and caught them. My dad was furious and demanded a divorce on the spot. Hazel, always ambitious and practical, immediately chose to go with my dad. She saw his $1 million salary and assumed mom, a housewife, would be nothing without him. But no one could have predicted what happened next. The night they split, mom accidentally activated a beauty system. The system allowed her to grow more beautiful by absorbing the admiration of those around her. With the system's help, mom made a stunning comeback. Within months, she became the entertainment industry's ageless goddess, landing countless endorsement deals and TV appearances. As her daughter, I rose with her, becoming a social media sensation. Hazel, on the other hand, didn't fare so well. After the divorce, dad remarried a cunning woman who gave Hazel a taste of her own medicine. She stripped Hazel of everything and quietly transferred all the assets to herself. Eventually, Hazel was kicked out of the house. Penniless and homeless, she wandered the streets, only to catch a glimpse of me on TV, radiant and living the life she had once dreamed of. Consumed by jealousy and hatred, Hazel waited until I was at the peak of my success before crashing her car into mine in a desperate attempt to take me down with her. But I never expected we'd both wake up back here, on the day our parents split up. This time, Hazel acted fast. Her dramatic tears and pleading words successfully convinced dad to give up custody of her, leaving her to stay with mom. But dad, still soft-hearted toward Hazel, decided to give mom the house out of guilt, something he hadn't done in our previous lives. As I quietly packed my things, ready to leave, Hazel's smug smile practically oozed satisfaction. "Big sister," she said sweetly, "if life gets too hard for you out there, just come back and beg me. Maybe I'll throw you a few scraps." I smiled back at her,